ऑलराइट, वेलकम एवरीवन। बहुत सारे सेशंस हम लोगों ने धर्मेश शाह सर के साथ करे हैं, बहुत कुछ सीखा है उनसे। एज 2024 कम्स टू एन एंड, 2025 इज राइट हियर। मार्केट्स इस समय थोड़े खतरनाक लग रहे हैं हर किसी को। ऑफ कोर्स वी हैव सीन सम इधर उधर फेड रेट पे लेके अलग स्पूक्ड है टुडे एज वी आर टॉकिंग। इसके पहले भी बहुत वॉलेटाइल मार्केट्स रहे हैं। ऐसे में 2025 व्हाट प्रोमिसेस डज इट होल्ड फॉर अस इज व्हाट यू आर गोना आस्क धर्मेश सर टुडे। तो लेट्स गेट राइट टू द मीट ऑफ द टॉपिक। सर, क्या दिख रहा है 2025 में आपको?
Yeah, so good evening, Vishu, and yes, definitely thank you for inviting me on your show of the market outlook. I think so. Yes, I think so. We believe. I think so. The 2024 was been a more of a volatile year for the market. It would be, I would say, more of a roller coaster where we have lots of events like election, geopolitical, US Fed, interest rates, and finally the US elections. But barring all, we managed to hold this volatility, and finally we had a closing about 23,300. It's too early to say because still 10 days left out for the December. But yeah, definitely YTD return, I think so, for the Nifty is something around 8 to 9% currently. We remain to be positive for the market. Yes, volatility will be there going forward for 2025. Now the question to the mind of everybody is कि कैसा रहेगा 2025? तो हमें लग रहा है कि yes, definitely volatility रहेगी. There will be lot of volatility because I think the first half, once Mr. Trump takes the office in 20th July, I think so, he will come out with the future plans of the corporate tax cut on the tariff, I think so, hike, and many other things will be seen how it will have impact on the world. So we believe, I think so, it will be a more of a volatile year. But as I said, in market, you remain to be optimistic. I think so. There is always a good saying that pessimistic sounds knowledgeable, but it is finally the optimistics which creates the wealth. So we remain to be the optimistic on the market. Yes, volatility will be there, but we had a target for the Nifty for the year 2025 of around 28,800 with a strong support. I think so. In the worst case scenario, we believe, I think so, 22,000 to 21,800 is likely to act as a very strong support for the Nifty. So yes, 2025. We remain to be optimistic for the market, and we had a target of 28,800 with a strong support in the range of 22,000 on the Nifty. Now coming to why we believe, I think so, the market should be looking on the positive side. As I used to, it's in technicals, we always say that the history repeats itself. So we have done two types of analysis. One is something called a classical technical analysis, and second is something that's statistical based on the historical data. So on the classical way to look for the market, purely from the technical perspective, if you look at the Nifty has been trading in this range. I would say not a range. Has been trading in this rising channel since 2020, and we believe, I think so, if you look at the long-term chart of the Nifty, it looks like, I think so, joining the lows of 2022 and 2024, 23, it looks like, I think so, Nifty seems to be finding most of the time in the panic support at the lower end of the channel, and on the expected to approach the upper band of the channel, which the value for the same is placed at around 29,000 for the year 2025. So we expect Nifty to head towards the upper band of the channel, which is again placed at 29,000. At the same time, major support is placed at on the lower band of the channel, which is 22,000 to 21,800. So yes, purely from the technical perspective, we expect Nifty to see positive. I think so. Yeah, times of volatility, as I say, cannot be ruled out. But the major support for the Nifty to talk for is something around 61% retracement of this entire rally from 18,800 to 26,300 is placed at around 22,000. Also, the median of 52-week EMA is something need to be watched out. It is again, I would say, the strong support at 23,300, which was the recent bottom we formed in the month of November. So 23,300 on the short term major support, but to talk for the full year, I think so, yes, 22,000 will act as a major support in the near term.
Absolutely, sir. I think we recently published a report as well on this, and there was a very interesting point on Decadal Theory as well there. Could you help us understand it a little bit better?
Yeah, sure. So what is now decadal studies? I think so. We looking at the decadal, I think so. This is something the study which we made in 2023, where we talk for a longer term picture for the Nifty to talk for the bigger picture. क्योंकि क्या है कि short term में तो काफी volatility रहेगी, ऊपर नीचे होगा, but थोड़ा लंबा पिक्चर अगर हम देखेंगे मार्केट का, तो आई थिंक सो वी हैव डन द डिकेडल स्टडी फॉर लास्ट 40 years, एंड समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग कम्स दैट in every decade market has given minimum 4x returns without doing anything, irrespective of any government, irrespective of policies. I think so most of the time, all the time, I would say, not most of the time, in all these decades from 1980 to 2020, Nifty has a four, given the return in each decade is around 4x. I think so. So 4 times बिना कुछ किए होता है. अगर अच्छे क्वालिटी स्टॉक्स अगर आप लेके बैठे हो तो उसके होल्ड करने में ही मजा है, क्योंकि इट्स अ गेम ऑफ कंपाउंडिंग फाइनली. तो कंपाउंडिंग की गेम का मैजिक कुछ अलग ही होता है, जहाँ पे यू गेट बेटर return. For people who invested, I think so 1 lakh, I think so, can move towards the 10 lakhs in just a span of, I would say, 1 decade, so in 10 years. So yes, I think so 4x return is something we are expecting for the Nifty. The target for closing price of calendar year 2020 was around 14,000 for the Nifty. Placed looking at the minimum average of 3x to 4x return, the target for the same is placed at around 50,000 to 55,000 for the Nifty. So we are expecting, I think so, the long-term target for the Nifty for 2030. The decade, I would say, is for India. Let me tell you one thing that clearly, I think so, this is a decade of India, and we are very optimistic on the market. We expect, I think so, the volatility will there. There will be a lot of volatility, but we have to sail with this volatility. We have to stay with this volatility, and finally, we expect Nifty to head towards 50,000 by 2030. So it's a India decade, and we are quite optimistic on the market going forward.
Amazing, sir. I think another factor that has been on the minds of people that people are fearing a lot is FIIs. We have seen some heavy selling from FIIs in the year 2024. So what's our take on that? How do we see that?
So we have also some analysis on the FI side कि there is lot of noise. I think so FI ने काफी बेचा है, तो market चलेगा नहीं चलेगा, lot of confusion. So हमने सोचा कि why don't we do some analysis of the back history के how the FI generally performs and how the sell off post FI's market behaves post FI sell off. तो एक इंटरेस्टिंग डेटा है कि जब भी हर एक क्वार्टर में FI का हमने निकाला, तो जब भी क्वार्टरली बेसिस पे FI का सेलिंग इज मोर देन 30,000, उसका एक आध क्वार्टर प्लस माइनस, most of the time FI come back to the market, and the average return for the Nifty post FI sell off, I think so, of more than 30,000 crores, I think so, is something around 27 to 28%. कहीं ना कहीं यार ये भी एक दिखाता है कि यार सेल ऑफ काफी है, नो डाउट, बट एक आध दो क्वार्टर में FIs are again back in action. So maybe I think so the FI sell off started from September, maybe one more quarter. I can't deny the month of March could be there or not there, but we don't expect major sell-off happening from the FI, because if you look at the numbers, I think something around 82,000 crores net FI sell-off this current quarter. So we believe, I think so, yes, worst seems to be getting over for the Nifty, and looking at the historical data, once the sell-off in FI is maybe 1 or 2 quarter plus minus, we see a gradual up move for the Nifty, and I am very confident that FI should come back in the year 2025. Maybe I think so. Question of timing, I think so, it's more important when it will come. But yeah, we are quite optimistic that they will definitely be back to India.
Awesome. I think another important factor for this year was the election season. From India's elections to US elections, everywhere we've seen elections. So what has been the trend around election periods?
Yeah, so हमने अरे ये एक अच्छा एनालिसिस था कि जहाँ पे हमने देखा था कि हाउ द मार्केट बिहेव्स आफ्टर द इलेक्शन ईयर, पोस्ट इलेक्शन ईयर. तो एक अच्छा इंटरेस्टिंग डेटा आया कि 1981 से अब तक, मतलब कि यहाँ पे 12 इलेक्शन हो चुके हैं. तो वहां पे एक इंटरेस्टिंग चीज ये थी कि यार मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम एक्सेप्ट 2 times in 2000 and 2015, most of the times Nifty has been on the positive side with an average return of around 18%, the good strike rate of 82%. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये भी कहीं ना कहीं हमारे टारगेट है जो 28,800 का, उसी को मैच करते हैं. 23,300 से अगर आप मैच करते हो 18%, इट कम्स टू मोटा मोटी अराउंड 28,800 to 29,000. तो वी बिलीव, आई थिंक सो द इलेक्शन ईयर हैज इट्स ओन इंपॉर्टेंस डेफिनेटली. बट एक जब मैं शांति से बैठ के ये डेटा देखता हूँ तो मुझे लगता है कि नहीं यार, मे बी वॉलेटिलिटी रहेगी, बट फाइनली क्लोजिंग तो एंडिंग तो अच्छा ही होगा. तो वी बिलीव, आई थिंक सो, या थिंग्स ऑफ वॉलेटिलिटी will be there in the first half of the 2025, but eventually we believe, I think so, such volatility will produce a good buying opportunity for the Nifty. तो किसी ने भी अगर इस volatility में लिया है तो हमेशा वो फायदे में रहा है. तो वी बिलीव आई थिंक सो यस, portfolio wise definitely I think so things can get better, but by the dips should be the strategy going forward. Same is happening
Awesome.
with the US side also. Even if you look at the US market also, I think so जहाँ पे हमने comparison किया था कि broader market, how generally broader equity market performs in the post US election year. तो generally S&P का भी एक हमने डेटा देखा था, तो वहां पे भी जो स्ट्राइक रेट है since 1995 से हमने जो डेटा लिया था, तो कहीं ना कहीं वहां पे भी post 1 year S&P return has been always positive with an average gain of around 23%. So वहां पे भी 86% की स्ट्राइक रेट है. ये भी एक डेटा दिखाता है कि यार यूएस में भी सेम चीज वही होती है. एंड लेट मी टेल यू, इंडिया इज वेरी डायरेक्ट कोरिलेशन विद द यूएस मार्केट इन टर्म्स ऑफ इक्विटी मार्केट. तो यस वी बिलीव आई थिंक सो इंडियन मार्केट ऑल्सो पोस्ट यूएस इलेक्शंस आई थिंक सो हमारा जो गेन रहा है, समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग डेटा है कि हमारा भी जो गेन रहा है आफ्टर यूएस इलेक्शन का 1 साल के बाद, वो कहीं ना कहीं निफ्टी 500 में 30 to 32% कर रहा है एवरेज. तो कहीं ना कहीं आई थिंक सो डेटा दिखा रहा है, कहीं ना कहीं मैं बोलता हूँ 32 ना हो, 25 भी हो या 20 भी हो, मोटा मोटी आती है बात की नहीं, कहीं ना कहीं निफ्टी 500 विल लाइकली टू सी अ पॉजिटिव रिटर्न फॉर द ईयर 2025.
Awesome. So many good signs to be optimistic about. I think we have for Nifty 28,800. Our eyes are set now. Let's talk about Bank Nifty. What is our take on Bank Nifty for 2025?
सर बैंक निफ्टी आई थिंक सो तो वन इंटरेस्टिंग चीज हमने इस बार देखी है बैंक निफ्टी में आई थिंक सो कि हमने एक रेशियो चार्ट निकाला है जहाँ पे रेशियो चार्ट ऑफ बैंक निफ्टी वर्सेस निफ्टी. तो दिस रेशियो चार्ट शोज कि कहीं ना कहीं अगर आप रेशियो चार्ट देखेंगे तो बैंक निफ्टी वर्सेस निफ्टी का, तो कहीं ना कहीं हिस्टोरिकल जब भी वो साइकिल लो के आसपास आता है, जॉइनिंग द लोज ऑफ 2020, 2005 एंड 2012 और 2020 का, तो एग्जैक्टली बैंक निफ्टी का जो लो था, जो साइकिल का, एग्जैक्टली वहीं से ही घूम रहा है रेशियो चार्ट पे. तो कहीं ना कहीं ये रेशियो चार्ट क्या दिखाता है, जनरली रेशियो चार्ट इज व्हाट, इट्स नथिंग बट अ कंपैरिजन ऑफ टू एसेट्स और टू स्टॉक्स और टू इक्विटी और समथिंग लाइक दैट. तो कहीं ना कहीं रेशियो चार्ट दिखा रहा है कि आगे जाके यहाँ से बैंक निफ्टी साइकिल लो पे खड़ा है, तो यहाँ से हो सकता है कि नेक्स्ट ईयर 2025 बैंक निफ्टी शुड रिलेटिवली आउट परफॉर्म द निफ्टी. तो कहीं ना कहीं रेशियो चार्ट इज समथिंग इंडिकेटिंग दैट मे बी द गुड डेज आर likely to be for the Bank Nifty in the year 2025, and we expect again Bank Nifty का अगर current ट्रेंड भी देखो तो 52 वीक ईएमए का काफी इंपॉर्टेंस है. वहीं से ही बैंक निफ्टी घुमा, मतलब एक सपोर्ट लेके यहाँ से बॉन्ड्स देखा है हमने. तो हमें लग रहा है कि बैंक निफ्टी इवेंचुअली शुड हेड टुवर्ड्स द अपर बैंड ऑफ द चैनल. द वैल्यू फॉर द सेम फॉर द नेक्स्ट ईयर इज प्लेस्ड एट अराउंड 63,000 फॉर द बैंक निफ्टी. तो बैंक निफ्टी का भी अगर आप आउट परफॉर्मेंस देखेंगे, निफ्टी जब भी साइकिल लो के साथ मैं कंपेयर करता हूँ कि there were three instances in 2009, 2013 and 2020 जहाँ पे वो साइकिल लो पे आया था. तो जब ये हुआ है तब तक बैंक निफ्टी ने डबल डिजिट में आउट परफॉर्म किया है निफ्टी को. तो वी बिलीव आई थिंक सो गुड डेज आर स्टिल लेफ्ट फॉर द बैंक निफ्टी, एंड वी एक्सपेक्ट बैंक निफ्टी, वी हैड अ टारगेट ऑफ 63,000 फॉर द बैंक निफ्टी विद अ स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट फॉर द ऑन द डाउन साइड की बात करें तो 48,200 का एक स्ट्रॉन्ग सपोर्ट बैंक निफ्टी का, which is again nothing but a 50% retracement of this entire rally from 42,000 to 54,050.
Awesome. Wow. So Bank Nifty also looks very good. What about other sectors? If I have to ask you, maybe what are the top 3 sectors that you're bullish on for 2025? Which ones will they be?
So in terms of sectors, हमने इस बार एक अलग तरीके से किया है कि जहाँ पे हमने एक हमारा इन-हाउस मॉडल यूज किया है, जहाँ पे हमने एक हमारे खुद के टेक्निकल फिल्टर्स, आई थिंक सो द टाइम टेस्टेड ट्रेंड्स आइडेंटिफिकेशन पैरामीटर्स लाइक मोमेंटम, रिलेटिव स्ट्रेंथ, ये सबको मिक्स करके हमने एक रैंकिंग बनाई थी हर एक सेक्टर्स की. तो रैंकिंग इस तरीके से कि 6 से 7 जो रैंकिंग होती है वो आउट परफॉर्मर रहती है, 3 से 5 कहीं ना कहीं मार्केट परफॉर्मर, एंड 1 to 2 is something the bargain buy. So based on the ranking, I think so we believe I think so the sectors which will outperform for the year 2025 is something banking. Again, banking remain to be BFSI. Apart from BFSI, we remain to be positive for capital goods, as we are already seen. I think so government capex first half में कुछ हमने खास देखा नहीं है spending में. We expect that in the second half where we expect government spending to improve and they should meet the budget of 11 lakh crores. तो कहीं ना कहीं I think so second half should be better for the capex related stocks and industrial related stocks. So capital again, technically and fundamentally looks positive. And Nifty financial services like and broking companies हो गई या AMC's companies हो गए, I think so they are the biggest beneficiary in terms of if you look at the number of demat accounts moving on to 15 crores and expected to move further on the higher side. So कहीं ना कहीं mutual fund, AMC's, broking are the ones which will be the biggest beneficiaries going forward. So again, apart from that outperformance, again, we expect other sectors like real estate is one, IT, again, maybe I think so US elections, post-US election, we have seen a good run-up in IT sector. But I think so, we believe, I think so, any corporate tax cut in US will others well for the IT. And also let us not forget the dollar is very strong at 85. It's again acting as a key catalyst for IT sector. So IT भी कहीं ना कहीं अच्छा रहेगा. Apart from that, again, pharma is something one need to be watch out more stock specific. I think so more bullish on the CDMO side of the play in pharma. रही बात बार्गेन बाय, नाउ बार्गेन बाय था समथिंग कि सेक्टर्स काफी टाइम से लाइमलाइट में नहीं है और काफी ओवरसोल्ड है या रिस्क रिवॉर्ड काफी फेवरेबल है. तो वहां पे जो सेक्टर्स आते हैं जहाँ पे हमको लग रहा है कि पुल बैक या समथिंग वर्स्ट सीम्स टू बी गेटिंग ओवर, कहीं ना कहीं जितना भी खराबी थी सब खत्म हो चुकी है. मे बी वर्स्ट न्यूज आर प्राइस्ड इन दिस सेक्टर. तो वहां पे आता है मेटल्स, एक आता है मेटल्स में हमें लग रहा है कि यहाँ पे रिस्क रिवॉर्ड काफी फेवरेबल है और एनीथिंग पॉजिटिव इन टर्म्स ऑफ फ्रॉम द चाइना I think so should be positive for metal space as a whole. So metal is one. FMCG again, pure rural play again, a good rainfall and a good expectation of agri income. I think so others well for overall FMCG. तो rural demand pickup expectation यहाँ पे भी एक अच्छा risk reward है. तो FMCG भी एक आता है sector. PSU banks and PSU index, I think so both. I think so PSU banking index again I would remain to be positive for. I think so. The looking at the Q2 numbers and expectation of Q3, Q4 to be better. I think so. I think so PSU banks are the ones which are not in limelight for a long time and which should be back in action. So PSU banks and PSUs, again, I believe, I think so, the current bull market, every bull market has their own leaders. PSUs are the leaders of this bull market. Maybe the run-up has been too fast in the last 2 years. What is happening is nothing but the breather or retracement of a rally, of a sharp rally which happens in the last 2 years. So we believe, I think so, PSU index remain to be the leaders. They continue to be leaders. What is happening? Nothing but a retracement of a rally. It is something when you run too fast, you require some bit of a breather, you require some rest, and that is exactly happening for the PSU index. So PSU, again, I would say this retracement, one should definitely look for the good quality businesses like defense, railways, roads, infrastructures are the ones one should be definitely looking out from the medium term perspective.
Absolutely. Acha, let's move on to the broader markets, our small caps, mid caps. What is our view forming there?
So broader market is confirmed. जैसे कि हमने एक निकाला था, इसमें भी एक रेशियो चार्ट का एनालिसिस किया था जहाँ पे निफ्टी 500 वर्सेस निफ्टी 100 का. तो इफ यू लुक एट दिस डेटा, आई थिंक समथिंग इंटरेस्टिंग कम्स आउट इन दिस डेटा. रेशियो चार्ट कहता है कहीं ना कहीं कि 18 साल का लॉन्ग ब्रेकआउट आया था 2024 में, 2023 में आया था और उसके बाद उसी ब्रेकआउट लेवल के ऊपर वो रेशियो चार्ट ट्रेड कर रहा है कहीं ना कहीं. तो I think so. The looking at the ratio chart, it clearly shows, I think so, कि अभी भी मिड कैप की तेजी खत्म नहीं हुई है. Maybe I think so, run up has been too fast. Valuation wise काफी महंगा हो चुका है. तो हो सकता है कि एक रिट्रेसमेंट हुआ. काफी स्टॉक्स में आपने देखा होगा 30 से 40% हमने फॉल भी देखा है in terms of price performance. So maybe I think so मिड कैप इंडेक्स की बात करें तो हमें लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं मिड कैप इंडेक्स यहाँ से रेशियो चार्ट को देख के लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं रिलेटिव टर्म्स में आउट परफॉर्म करना चाहिए. Maybe they can see some bit of a consolidation, cannot be ruled out for ratio chart, but looking at the bigger picture, it looks like mid-cap index should do better. Maybe in the near term, some bit of a volatility cannot be ruled out, but look for the good quality businesses in the mid-cap stocks. I think so. There are still long way to go for the mid-caps. And let us go back to the history mid-caps की. तो average correction जो हमने last 15 साल में देखे mid-caps तो एवरेज जो करेक्शन आता है कहीं ना कहीं विशु वो आता है कहीं ना कहीं 15 से 16%. इस बार का जो हमारा करेक्शन था कुछ 12 से 13% का मिड कैप में हमने करेक्शन देखा था. तो हमें लग रहा है कि कहीं ना कहीं प्राइस वाइज मे बी डैमेज इज डन. मे बी आई थिंक सो टाइम वाइज इट कैन सी सम बिट ऑफ अ कंसोलिडेशन अक्रॉस. सो ओवरऑल आई थिंक सो मिड कैप का जो हमारा नेक्स्ट का टारगेट है कहीं ना कहीं 17,800 के आसपास है. तो ओवरऑल आई थिंक सो यस, शॉर्ट टर्म वॉलेटिलिटी बट मीडियम टर्म टू लॉन्ग टर्म लुक्स पॉजिटिव.
Awesome. Right. Let's get to the main section of the day. I think the most awaited section, which our audience would be waiting for, is our top picks for 2025. Which are your favorites for 2025?
Yeah. So again, I would say my top picks again, let me tell you, these top picks are purely on the base of the technical filters, in-house technical filters. It is nothing related to any particular biases to any of the stocks. So let me clear to that. So yeah, it's our in-house model, and based on our in-house model, we came up with these recommendations. We have a selections of team. We had selected the stocks based both on the technical and fundamental part. And post that, we came up with this topic. So our topic for the year 2025 is United Spirits. Again, we had a target of 1820 for United Spirits. Again, a part of a consumption play. Again, expected, I think so. The overall liquor space should do good for the year 2025. So United Spirits remains to be a topic for the year 2025. Apart from United Spirits, again, we had a topic. Just a second. Apart from United Spirits, we remain to be positive for Indian Bank. Now, Indian Bank, a part of a PSU, and again, one of the most better in terms of performance inside the PSU banks and in terms of price performance. And if you look at the banking, and bank has been diversified into retail, MSME, and agri. And for almost 62% of the book to cater by the strong branch network of around 5,847 domestic branches. So I think so. Indian Bank fundamentally also looking good, and technically again I would say that the stock seems to be forming a contracting triangle, expecting to witness a contracting triangle breakout. We expect stock to head towards 705 from the 1 year perspective. Apart from that, next stock which we like is on the metal side is SAIL. SAIL again, Steel Authority of India. Again, I would say the SAIL is something part of a PSU and a pure domestic play, I would say, for SAIL. So again, in SAIL, the metal index, as I said, the risk world looks more favorable for the metal index. And if you look particular to the SAIL, the stock has seen a decade-long breakout, last 10 years of breakout, which was placed at around 110. And what is happening right now is nothing but the change of polarity where the resistance seems to be forming as a support time. And we believe, I think so, 105 to 100 level is something a major support for the SAIL, which should hold. And we should be looking, I think so, for a target of around 153 from the yearly perspective. So as a strong support to talk for SAIL, again, we believe 105 to 100 levels are something the important support for the SAIL to look out for. We had a target of 153 for SAIL. Again, coming to the next pick is some CSC, now Calcutta Electric, part of the RPG group again, and we believe, I think so, the way the things seems to be forming for CSC in terms of management guidance, it looks like 2025 tends to be more positive for CSC. We had a target of 235, and again, in CSC, we expect price-wise and time-wise maturity done. If you look at the corrections, all these corrections, which are clearly visible on a chart, in a report, when none of the correction has got retraced more than 50% of the prevailing up move. And also in terms of price-wise, again, I would say it get time-wise. Again, I would say that the time-wise, the correction doesn't last for more than 2 months. So CSC, again, price-wise and time-wise correction seems to be done with a target of 235 for CSC. Fifth one is BML, again, part of the PSUs and a part of a BML generally into mining, defense, and railways, a part of a PSU stock. And again, the stock seems to be forming the healthy consolidation above the 52-week EMA. Again, 52-week EMA has their own importance. I think so. It's got fantastic in the falling market, and most of the times major supports or major bottoms are formed near 52-week EMA. So we expect, I think so, BML to head towards 5390 with a strong support in the range of 3700. Again, second last is something on the JK Lakshmi Cement. Again, JK Lakshmi, a pure proxy play to play our infrastructure. As I said, we expect government spending to improve in Q3 and Q4 in infrastructure. So JK Lakshmi Cement again remains to be a pure proxy play to play infrastructure play. To play our infra play. I think so cement again, the sector was into a long consolidation, and we for last 6 months in terms of price wise, they have seen the healthy consolidation to corrective phase. We expect worst seems to be getting over for entire cement space. JK Lakshmi particular to talk for remains to be a top pick for the year 2025. A multi-year breakout was witnessed in 2021. We expect, I think, so stock to head towards, I think, 994. Again, structurally to talk for the stock. Again, the stock has undergone a very slow pace of retracement of the last 10 months by just 61% of the preceding 6 months move, which was in the from 600 to 880. We expect stock to head towards 994, which is again the February 2024 high. So JK Lakshmi again, it's strong support again for the stock expected to have strong support in the range of 715, which is again the lower end of the rising channel. So JK Lakshmi is last, and the second last is something around Timken India. To talk for Timken again, the part of the bearing stocks, again a part of a capital goods. And Timken India seems to be forming a very strong support at the long-term rising trend line. If we draw the long-term rising trend line joining the lows of 19, 22, 24, and 23, it looks like, I think so, Timken India seems to be forming a strong base at 52-week EMA, and it may be, we believe, not at EMA, but I would say it seems to be forming a strong support at the long-term trend line, expecting again stock to likely see some bit of a consolidation in this range. A pure MNC play, again a part of MNC play, and we expect stock to head towards 3950, which is again 50% retracement of this entire decline from 4800 to 3100. So Timken again, India remains to be a top pick for the year 2025. And last but not the least is Lalis India. Now Lalis again, we had a strong decadal breakout happening for Lalis India, and again that was supported by strong volumes. So in terms of relative outperformance also, the stock has witnessed a faster retracement. It looks like, I think, that there is something structural turnaround happening for the Lalis India for the year 2025 with strong volumes. So we expect stock to head towards 375 with strong support in the range of 265. So this remains to be our topic for the year 2025. United Spirits, Indian Bank, SAIL, Timken India, CSC, BMN, JK Lakshmi, and Lalis India remains to be a topic for the year 2025.
Absolutely. Well, this was amazing. Thank you so much for that great analysis. But before we let you go, sir, can we have one final piece of advice for 2025 for our viewers out there?
So stay invested, I think so. Not investing in equity market will be the biggest risk, I would say. Yes, and in terms of volatility, we will have a lot of volatility, but we need to navigate this volatility and finally need to see the portfolio better. So focus on good quality businesses. I think so. That's the main mantra. Avoid corporate governance issues or tainted stocks are the ones which should be avoided. And again, I would say be optimistic on India, as I say, because finally it is the optimistics which creates the wealth rather than getting too much pessimistic on the market. But yes, definitely, I think so. For the traders to talk for from the trading perspective, I think so. Stop loss is something the important part one need to be watch out for. I think so. That is the utmost important in this volatile market. So keep with the play any trading positions with strict stop losses. I think so. The one important mantra for the year 2025.
Absolutely. Well, that was it for now. Thank you so much once again, Dharmesh sir, for sharing your expertise and experience with us. I hope this podcast was useful for our viewers out there. So if you did like it, please do leave a comment. And also, if you have any questions for Dharmesh sir, you may ask them in the comments as well. Till we see you next time, very happy new year to you and all the best for your journey in the markets. Thank you so much.
Happy new year to you too and your entire viewers.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.